guys, 14 Prime here, back another custom review, and today we're looking at the Generation Select Shattered Glass 2-pack, Optimus Prime, and Ratchet. Now, of course, this is the pack that I said once the repro labels come out and I get them, we are going to, then the review is going to happen, but we are going to actually get into this. This might be a longer video. Get ready for this. So first off, the paints that I used for these two, for Ratchet, you know, when I was getting the paints together, there's a fair chance I forgot one. I realized I only used 2 paints. I used some spray paint. I believe it was pure white. I think it was some shade of white. And I used like a little bit of dark gray. Full focus for like one spot. Let's get those. And then for Optimus, I actually used a little bit of special stuff here and there. Mentioned one of these paints in the Grimlock review, but we got the metallic purple, pearlescent violet, and pearlescent emerald. Which I don't really use these all that often, so here you go. Along with normal Tamiya royal blue for one area. Some black. Some metallic gray. Some gunmetal. Some red. And that's it. I thought there was more. Oh wait, there is, I forgot. Flat aluminum, there we go. I just looked over at one thing and I was like, oh my god, I nearly forgot this. Anyways, I want to actually first talk about the repro labels, because I feel like I can make this a quick little segment. Now, we're going to go into Prime's first, since his is the nicer part of this, ironically, even though it's the one that I wasn't really excited for. For him, the only ones I used the new window stickers, as I thought they looked really nice. I used these. I was actually going to paint these metallic green, like the color that I painted this, but the paint kept on scratching off like right there, so I couldn't really use them. And then right there. I think that's all the repro labels I use in his truck mode. He doesn't really have much more outside of that. For his truck mode, he has a license plate. He has a little like M, and then he has his grill that has a freaking human handprint on it, I guess. We'll get into that in a minute. And then for Ratchet, I pretty much just used the stripe, and then this, which also has blood on it. And so for Ratchet, if I remember correctly in the video, I had mentioned, in like the first one I mentioned, like, oh, Toy Hacks will only fix the windows, so I don't have to, because I don't really want to paint a white figure's windows. But they did not. So you get to the front windscreen, right? And that looks really nice. I really love the way that looks. And completely, that's just perfect. But then you get to the side windows, like all of them, and it has just blood, freaking human handprint, the Marvel Comics thing, the like Dr. Feelgood, I think is what that says. And just no. What I hate about this set is it just kind of turns like the MP10 Shattered Glass Prime, and the Toy Hacks labels are him. He had like some blood that was like optional on him, if I remember correctly, but you didn't have to have it. This forces you to have blood and like all this over-the-top mess on the labels. Which, like, even the steel back windows, I think this is a neat idea, and I actually like the look of it. Like, I think it makes sense that he would have like steel for his back windows instead of just full-on windows. But they force you to have like stuff like this on the side, or like these, and just all this. Like, why? Why? It just kind of... And just the freaking, like, human blood and a handprint just there. It just doesn't look good to me. Like, they just kind of turned this into like a horror van, and like that's not Like, granted, he's a messed up dude in Shattered Glass, but he's not like this. But there are other stickers that I do like. Like, we'll get into some of the more robot ones, but this one I actually think is neat. But anyways, done with Toy Hacks labels. Which ironically, the Ratchet labels that I used weren't even on that sheet. They were on the other one. They were on this one. Which this sticker is also really cute. I really like this one. But yeah. And for the only real comparison that we can do here, we'll actually do these individually. Let's compare Prime to himself. Because yes, I have 2 sets of this. Because I was actually I bought a second set because I wanted to display the regular Prime and truck mode. But then the trailer labels ended up being $20, so I'm like, I'm gonna wait for that to go on sale. Because I only want the stripe on the side. Like, if anyone doesn't want just that, I'd be down to make a deal. Because I don't really care about all the inner labels, just... I don't. You can see pretty much my main issues that I highlighted out in either this thing's actual video, or I think that Legend Scale one. Is like one of the issues is I really didn't like the lack of black in the design, which I fixed with the stripe going around the side, and like even the lined like front headlights, and then even the windows just look really nice, and the nice metallic green lights up there, which I don't really fault the original figure for not painting these in, since no version paints that in, which is fine. And then for an honestly much less impressive comparison. Here's Ratchet, which, oh, I forgot. I actually also used the broken headlight labels and the black windshield wipers here. I also forgot about them. Were flat black. It'll focus. Come on. Thank you. So I was forgetting one. Who knows? Might have forgotten more. But yeah, just very, very little differences since the windows never happened, and also. I think I had these on in the first video, but they're like some new tires I found off eBay. I made them roll a little bit better, but they still don't roll amazing, but it's fine. Which, they did actually include hubcaps for these, which I think is cool. They're trying to salvage Hasbro's crappy retooling. Oh, and I also took off the Autobot logo up there in favor of a tiny one right there. Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get these 2 lads in their robots modes. And here in robot mode is where probably the most significant changes are, as usual with everything I do. So, starting off first with the rep labels, just like last time. For Prime, I think the only ones I use in his robot mode were these. Like right there. Like, he does have some fine ones for robot mode though. Like, I think these ones are nice. The arrows are cool there. The grill one's alright. But just like most of them are the weird gun arm thing, or I've already painted those areas, so I don't really care to do them myself. And then for Ratchet, other than the already mentioned ambulance crosses, I just use these. That's it. Just to add a bit of life to the arms. So yeah, basically most of the kit I did not use. Which, go ahead and get the comparisons out of the way. We'll do Ratchet first. Here he is with himself. And like I mentioned in the review, I like this color, but it was just too much. So I think minimizing it, because as you can see, I painted most of the feet and then the lower arms, the white. And so I think minimizing it makes the color just a bit better, instead of it just being all over him. So. And then I'll bring the camera up a little bit. And him back. Comparing him to himself. Which, as you can see, there are a lot of changes. For example, an entirely new head. Which that is actually a casted copy of the 08 Classics Optimus head, just because, in my opinion, just with the blue and everything, the G1 Prime just can't look evil. It really can't. It's not it can't do it. It's too G1, and they didn't really give it the right colors to look evil. And also because I didn't really want to repaint the entirety of the legs, which is the only reason they're still here. Because I still don't like it, I just tolerate it. Which, going over the colors a little bit here, as you can see, I did the black thighs, the gold on the crotch, some gold down there. Which the gold, by the way, I also forgot. Gold leaf. And the truck mode stuff translates, and then of course get the black there. Green there, and then the head sculpt, let me move up a bit. It's not perfect, but I still like it. Of course, gunmetal up for the visor, the red eyes, the gold on the crests. I think it looks a lot more evil, and helps this Prime actually look evil. Oh, and also, of course, the gold there. Which I also did paint a few more things. For example, the gun here is an amalgamation of the Netflix Prime's gun and then the Dead Prime's gun, except with some black painted there, some silver up here, and some black down there to kind of give it some flow. Just trying to make it look a bit more like the Classics gun in colors compared to just this. There you go. And then I also, I got a sword from Grimlock's Forge and painted that for him. Which the blade is Park Green, because I also forgot about that. I swear this is the last color, I think. Which of course is based on Movieverse Prime's blade, but just made where it can be handheld. Ratchet's gun remains the same. And then I actually had an extra siege wrench lying around, so I painted a bunch of gunmetal on top of it to give it a bit of a dirty look. So yeah. So I wasn't really expecting Prime to be the thing that got the most out of all this, but he really did. And my goal was to kind of try to make him look more like this Prime, which as I mentioned in that video, got being a G1 Shatterglass Prime right. As you can see, again, the black comes back, the black there comes back, gold. Like there's a lot of similarities in their colors and like placements of colors. But also, just for some more fun, sorry Ratchet, you're just you're just back there. I feel bad because Ratchet was what I was more excited for, and I got the set. Here is the actual, not the actual. This is a knockoff. The 2008 Optimus Prime. It's the cold knockoff. Here is the Shatterglass Laser Prime, and then the MP10 Prime, which we're actually going to zoom out a bit and you'll be able to see all the paint on my table. It is so bright up there. Oh my god. But yeah, why is it so bright? Can I adjust the lights to not be bright? No? Okay. But yeah, as you can see, I tried to make this guy fit a lot more in with these two than he does with him, because the original one is just more so made to be him. Which to me, it's just a slow degradation of like Shatterglass Prime's colors. We have the original, then we have this one, which is still pretty good, and then we just jump to this, which is okay, but is missing a lot of key details. Then we jump to the original Shatterglass one, which just isn't that great. Which the biggest issue I feel is the fact that they decided to just negate the black from the color scheme entirely. Like, even if the blue was still there, I feel as long as the black was still around, it would look alright. As you can see here, like, I think this looks alright. It's not perfect, but I don't think it looks bad either. Let's get these two in a epic pose to end this video off. But yeah, overall, this was a bit of a wait, because I had to wait on the Toy Hacks labels, which really sucks because they were just a disappointing mess. In my opinion, Toy Hacks just leaned way too hard into, we have to look bloody and gory, and just, we have to look like Shattered Glass is a horror movie, when that's not remotely what this is. Not at all what this is meant to be. It's another continuity at the end of the day. Because, like, it isn't like a mirror universe of just one thing. It's basically its own continuity with its own rules. Just like, you know, something like Armada or Prime or Animated. That's just how it is. And then the paintwork I did, I think very much improves them. The Toy Hacks labels that I applied, I think just enhances it a little bit. Especially for Prime. I kind of feel bad that Prime got, like, the best stuff, just because I really wanted it to be Ratchet. Because I was like, the Toy Hacks label is going to make this thing just freaking pop. And I hope one day they release, like, an amendment set that gives them proper windows like this. Or even just a bunch of blanks. Because the only way you can have blanks of these is if you buy 2 sets. And then you just can't, you don't win here. There's no winning. Which is quite unfortunate. But yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say, except for one thing that I nearly forgot. I couldn't mention in the last week's video because I recorded that video a week ago. It was a whole thing. But we reached 1,000 subscribers recently. That's just nice. It was ironically it was like 2 days for my birthday. Like, we were celebrating. I looked in. I was like sitting at the dinner table. And I got like a text from a friend that's like, yo, you made it. And I was like, what? And you messaged me a screenshot. I'm like, oh my god, it's there. And then an hour later, it was back to 999. And then 20 minutes later, it was back to 1,000. It was fine. It was a whole thing. It was great. But I do want to thank you guys a lot for that. I'm not fully sure what I want to do for it. I might announce something in the next video. If you guys want to leave suggestions in the comments, please do. I need those. I've been debating about doing like a Q&A because I get a lot of questions, like what paint, like the basic question of what paints do I use, despite showing them in every video, or just like customizing tips or things like that. So I don't know. I'm debating on doing a Q&A. If you guys have any other suggestions, please leave them below. I might end up doing that instead. But yeah. All right, now that's it. Now that's all I have to say. So, please be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews, and please don't forget to subscribe. You just come check out my Facebook and Tumblr pages, links in the description below, and you can also come join the Infinite Sun Discord server, also linked in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.